Hi, so it has been almost 8 months since I had my surgery, and I am doing good. My last video is just starting physical therapy and chiropractor. So that's been going great. My core strength has gotten stronger. I started running again, which is fantastic. I'm actually doing my first 10K with my older two boys on April 8th, so I'm really excited about that. My goal was to run 6 miles in the 4 weeks that I've been running to make it to that 6 miles. And I did it the other day, and I actually ran it in an hour and 2 minutes. So that was good. I'm a lot slower than I want to be, but at least I'm running again. So today I went for just a 3 mile run and ran it in 26 minutes. So the time is increasing. The pain isn't there. I'm still engaging the core as I'm going on runs and stuff. Now, instead of going 2 times a week to the chiropractor, I am now doing every other week chiropractic and physical therapy just to make sure everything stays good. But so far, it has been fantastic. The whole food plant-based diet that I have been doing has been phenomenal, especially for my fibromyalgia. I went 50 days on it, so that ended on Tuesday, and I documented everything and how I was feeling. And so I think the first 10 days, I was able to actually sit through one of my son's basketball games without any pain, which was huge because at least 10 minutes into it, I was dying. And by the time it was over, yeah, it was awful. So being able to sit at their last games with no pain and being able to drive home or drive long distances and walking and all of that, it's gotten a lot better. Pain is still there, but it's more like a steady level 2 than a level 6. So I'm really excited about how that's been going. So with the whole food plant-based diet, not only have I noticed like the pain has gone down from the fibromyalgia. I am still getting exhausted from having Addison's disease, which cannot be reversed. But as far as fibromyalgia being reversed on this, I wouldn't necessarily say reverse because if I do eat something that I'm not supposed to, apparently I can't have brown sugar or powdered sugar, that will send me into a flare. Nothing like I used to experience, and it's a lot less time. So a flare would usually send me, if it started at night, wouldn't be able to sleep. It would continue into the next day, sometimes the following day. This, usually I'll still be able to fall asleep, but the pain is usually gone by morning, which is fantastic. So I've altered some of my, so when I make chocolate chip cookies and stuff like that, instead of using brown sugar, I use coconut sugar. Powdered sugar, I just got a recipe for, so I'm going to see how that goes. Pain, when I run, the pain isn't there. So if I do start to feel it, I'll slow down or I'll stop and I'll walk if it gets too bad. But that's only happened one time. And that was the day that I wasn't being careful. I had a flare the night before. I probably shouldn't have been running that day anyway. But yeah, it's been really fantastic. And I think that the surgery has done well. There are things that I want to try to completely get rid of the pain because it's not like I want to be on alert at all times. Like, oh, can I bend over? Oh, can I empty the dishwasher or do this or do that without engaging my core and having to think so much? I am getting up there in my age and my memory is not the greatest, but it's not something that I want to have to worry about constantly. There are shots and stuff out there. The plasma rich platelet shots or injections or whatever you want to call them to see if that would kind of help. I'm not sure how that would work with the healing time, but my surgeon did say it could take up to a year, and with the space being so big that there still could be some things going on. The one thing that is bothering me the most though is the left SI joint. It just kind of feels stuck. Could be scar tissue, I'm not sure. So physical therapist and I have been doing things to help kind of like floss the tendon and stuff through the SI joint to kind of help. And it does help, especially like before a run, I make sure that I do the knee rocking back and forth and some of those low back, not stretches, because the stretches are still bothersome. I cannot do child's pose without taking like 5 minutes to come out of it. But yeah, everything else, stretching the hamstrings, rolling, foam rolling more, using the tennis ball, doing all of that. I'm glad I got the surgery, glad I got my diet changed to the whole food plant-based. My post on my video before, I kind of named the books that I went through and finally read them all, learned a bunch, have been doing the diet, found some amazing recipes, and yeah, it's just been working for me, and I feel like I've gotten a lot of my life back. Really missed running. That was a huge part, and now that I have it back, I'm going to keep going with that and seeing how much I can improve. Like you said, 6 miles was a bit for me, but it did feel good. I'm not ready to do a half marathon this year, maybe towards the end of the year, but not anywhere close. But I do have 2 runs, so the one in April and then a run in May as well, both 10Ks, so I'm really excited to see how I do in that. I'm a very competitive person. Went for a run at the track the other day. There was a guy running around. He didn't know, but I made it a competition and ended up lapping him. And I did great. Like you say, that first mile is a lie, and then you get better. So, yeah, I think that the runs will be good for me to kind of test how my body is. But I've been able to get up and do more. I've had more energy. The one thing I do notice is that I cannot stand for more than an hour. So when I am doing meal prepping and juicing and all of that stuff, and I am just kind of standing in the kitchen area, my low back will start to hurt. So it'll go from like a 2 to a 6. So then I know that when I start to feel it crawling up, I'll sit down and rest for like 10 minutes, get up, and then it'll be fine. I can't sit for too long either. So if I am going on a walk or a run, it's fine. My body's moving, my muscles are warmed up, but it's the like act of standing there. Still can't bend over and come up, so I have to be careful with making sure that I'm doing proper body mechanics and like perfect squats and not lifting anything too heavy. I have not tried weights yet. I think I'm going to try that this weekend. Probably nothing over 10 pounds. I don't want to put any more stress or cause any injury, shock my body. So I'm still trying to retrain my brain to think it's okay to do these movements. But, with going for, a month and a half after having 7 years of pain. So it's going to take a while for my brain to realize that these movements are okay and that I should be fine. But I feel like it was a blessing. It was a good choice for me to do. And with the physical therapy, with the diet change, getting the foods that are causing inflammation and flares and all of that, having these autoimmune diseases on top of having the low back pain, they all kind of fit together. So the more that you can do to help alleviate that, the better you'll feel. So if you're still having back pain and you have these autoimmune diseases, I suggest reading these books, doing the whole food plant-based diet. You're really not missing much. I honestly don't miss meat at all. I mean, seriously, do not miss it. Never was a big dairy or cheese person. I used to love milk, but I haven't had milk in like 7 years. So yeah, it's definitely worth the change. From going, I think that I had noticed that in 50 days on this diet, 7 of those days or 6 of those days were meh days. But they weren't bad. And when I went back and looked at 50 days before I did the diet, there was 43 days that I was in pain and fatigued and tired, and there was 18 events that I missed out on and all of this stuff. So that is a huge difference when you're looking at, okay, I ate shitty before, now I'm doing this whole food plant-based diet. It's, 43 days to 6 days. That's a huge difference. So I will take that. I will gladly give up the foods that are causing these issues to have the to have less pain, to not miss out on events, to not miss out on my kids' sports stuff because I'm too tired, too exhausted, in too much pain to move. So it's been, I haven't had a crisis in these 50 days. The 50 days before that, I had two. So yeah, I highly recommend doing the whole food if you suffer from this, even maybe from just injuries in general, low back pain and stuff. That could be hanging on because your body is full of inflammation. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but it's worth a shot. I mean, you really have nothing to lose except for the pain. So, but yeah, so hopefully I'll get everything situated and things will continue to get better as I work out a little more. I've just kind of been running, doing some light yoga, no weights or anything like that yet, but I am going to try to start that this week, see how I do, see how strengthening the core more, strengthening the back muscles more, if that will help, or hopefully it will not hurt. But and then continuing on with this diet as well. So I look forward to updating you guys in a month. Thanks.